All right, all right, all right. Welcome, guys. I am here with Miranda. How do I say your last name? Is it Marriott?
Marriott, like the
Marriott.
hotels. Marriott,
Like the
Marriott.
hotel. Cool. Miranda Marriott, she has made over 400 or around about 450,000 in the last 10 months, I think, since joining our program as a manifestation and leadership coach for women in business. So I'm really excited to have her here today. She's going to share some of her top tips and strategies for being able to grow so quickly. I mean, you were already crushing it before, but to be able to really ramp things up. And
Mm.
I think you've got some cool stuff going on as well that you can share with people that will be super exciting. And so, welcome. I'm really excited to have you here. Do you want to let everyone know first, like what it is that you do, like what kind of coaching you do exactly?
Yeah, love to. So I suppose like we were talking about like how do I name myself or what does I do? What I really love is this idea of this logical levels model, which really to me explains the work I do or why I do it. And so it's something that Robert Dilts put together, but he's got this layer of purpose, and then for whatever we're doing, with our purpose layer, and then our identity layer, and then under that it's like our beliefs and our values, and then strategy, actions, and our environment. And I find for me, what I do, and I work with women in leadership and activate abundance in their business and a lot of flow in their life, but it can be their whole life too. We work on the top layers of their purpose, their identity, like their values and beliefs. Like I work in that space, and then it unlocks blocks that they're having with their strategy or their action. Or for me, only when I did that work did I unlock abundance and manifestation. When I was just trying to go on a strategy or like the bottom layers, it wouldn't work for me. And so I do the inner work, I do the leadership work, I do the what's in the psychology and the blocks of people that is taking them out of alignment. And we clear that up and we get them into that alignment. So then their strategy and their action and their business and the environment and money and like all of that flows as a byproduct of that alignment. So yeah, I guess I'm here to help women get into that depth of magnetism, the depth of manifestation, their alignment with their psychology, and really connect to like why they do what they do and get them into their highest, most powerful version of themselves and that identity so that then they go and speak or they do something in their business or and it lands and it's powerful and it's magnetic. So I guess yeah, that's how I explain it.
I love that. I think I might ask you some questions about becoming magnetic
Yeah.
today as well. I think that could be really cool. So, when you joined my program like 10 months ago, roughly, I know you were going through like a bit of a transition, like things that were working before weren't working anymore. And so we
Mhm.
changed stuff up a little bit. Do you want to let
Yeah.
people know like where you were then, what was going on, where you are
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
what's working for you now?
Yeah. Yeah. So before Sarah's work, I've had my business for 10 years and I've been in coaching for 20, like in this psychology, well-being coaching space. So I've been in the space for quite a while. And my business at the first few years wasn't really flowing because I needed to connect to these upper layers I talked about. And no matter what strategy and things I did, it wasn't working. So for 4 years, nothing was happening. Then I learned this magnetism work, I learned the intuition work, I learned how to do this deeper layer, and my business started flooding like with 20K and then to 100K, 200K launches. Like it went crazy. And it was mainly a manifestation energetic shift that I made. So for 6 years, or 5 or 6 years, my business was like flying at that level. And two things I suppose happened just before like that 6 months or so before I met you. One was I put so much energy in my business and I hadn't probably tended to my relationships or some other things in my life, which I think as a high achiever and people in business, like we can do that. And so I got a bit burnt out or just over, and I just like wanted some energy to be in my life and relationship and, dating or like, so one thing is that like, energy went out of my business a little bit. So my presence and energy like wasn't as in there. I wasn't as excited. I think too when we like hit goals, but we don't have bigger ones beyond that, like we lose momentum. And so I just got a bit bored with my business. So one part of it was I wasn't as involved or excited. And so my business started to like slow down or plateau because I wasn't really fully in it. That was one thing. And the second thing was the market was starting to shift, and before I could just say whatever I wanted, whatever strategy. If I'm excited, I'm magnetic, like boom, it worked. And I could do 1 hour with someone and they'd come into my 20K program, like that was it, right? that period when I started also not being as involved, the market changed. They needed to trust you more. They'd been burned by so many coaches. They weren't going to just pay $20,000 when they met you for 1 hour. Like they wanted to see you, trust you, fully get that you're the real deal and you're not faking shit, and that you actually give them results. And like, so that
Yeah.
what I was working and doing, like this masterclass 1 hour thing, it just wasn't working. And I saw you flying. And so I connected with you and just said, like, what's going on? How are you doing this? Like, what's happening? And I got back into my manifestation and identity stuff, but my strategy wasn't the right strategy anymore. And so I really wanted to work on that. And so that's what I did with you. And I think the main thing that shifted for me working with you was firstly, I see you're someone super caring and I see that you're a very genuine human and I align to you in that way. And so my business needs to be like that. I can't have this manipulative, fake business. So I really think you help me keep true to myself and like what I value and who I am and that I care for people and like so you didn't take me out of my business. That was one thing. And then the second thing I think you did as well is that really helped me see that people take a bit more time sometimes, like and they're not going to just buy the top thing straight away. Like I need to have a layer and something that's stepping stones for people that they can learn to trust me and it can slow down. And I'm not, and even like messaging them and like, hey, get on my challenge or it's like just meet people where they're at, and give them some service and need of what they can have. Whereas before it was just the big thing. If you didn't have that, you weren't in my space. So I think
Yeah.
that was core from you and the strategy that you gave me, like to keep that care and my connection to myself and make sure my business is coming out of me. A lot of other strategy people I worked with, they told me a strategy that wasn't really connected to me. But also, yeah, just warming people to me or like having stepping stones was really vital as well. And the third thing with you, I think, was that making sure it's aligned. This plus this connects, and there's a highway and it's obvious and it's the obvious next thing, not, oh, hey, I'm teaching you guys this and randomly come over here. It was just disjointed. Like it was a bit when we haven't got that alignment in strategy, it's a bit of a mess, and it's just really getting it clear. Yeah, I think that's what really came about from working with you.
I love that. I have several questions that I want to ask you. But a lot of gold already, right? Like the marketplace, the trust is not the same as what it was before. I don't know, guys, like comment like me if either you've been burned, you've done programs and now you're a bit more hesitant, right, to pay money or to sign up, or you've just noticed it's not as easy to sign clients as it was before. So marketplace
Yeah.
definitely shifted. I love what you said, maybe because that's how I like to do it, right? Like just around leading with love and leading with values. So
Mm,
good.
mm.
I have questions around being magnetic and manifestation, and I also had another question around dealing with like the mindset, and there would be a lot of ego if things were working really well in your business and then they stopped and you had to change strategy, right? And like I have been in situations before with my career, with my business where things were working and then they went backwards. And so there's
Yeah.
a lot of ego involved in just putting that aside
Yeah.
and going back to, okay, well now I'm building from scratch again or I'm being a beginner again. So first, I would love any tips for people when it comes to that.
With that. Yeah. I think like one of the first things, like, and you talk about this a lot, like no data, like no drama, just data. Like one of the first things is not taking it personally, like because I think with business and anyone that's been around business for a while, they know these things happen and change, and like the way that used to work or the way that we used to do Instagram or like was working and then it doesn't, like, and it's not a personal thing. It's not like, oh, we liked you in your business before, Miranda, now we didn't. It was just life changes, people evolve, things change in the environment, in the marketplace, like, and I've got to keep up with it and adapt. And so for me, it was like not taking it personally and going, oh shit, now I was really magnetic and now I'm not, or, it's like, well, there's cause and effect, and one, look at it like from a data thing. It's like, well, I stepped out of my business a bit. I wasn't as excited and passionate about it. I wasn't putting a lot of energy. I was putting it in here. So this grew and this didn't. Like, that's obvious. Okay. Like, I've just got to put my energy back into it and get excited in the new way it wants to be born. Like, that was one thing. And then it's like, okay, I'm seeing message, like people are not try and I'm listening to what they're saying and the objections or why they're not buying or going to the next steps. Like they don't trust or they've been burnt by someone. They like I'm getting the same thing. They wish they could do that, but they're not at the level yet. So it's like I just listened, like, and I And I also listened to see, well, you're flying, and we were in the same group in a peer group, and then and I go and go, oh, well, I'm peers with Sarah, so I'm not going to get coached by her. It's like, no, like she's got something that's working, like, and I'm struggling with one specific thing that I want to get, and she's the person I connect to on that. So I'm going to go get that expertise on that. She's that expert in this thing. I want to go get that answer. Like, so yeah, it's not taking it personally and not being like, oh, Sarah's better than me, or like, it's just no, she's got a result and I want to learn about that result. Like, she's the best person for my next step for that. It's just being more like a scientist or just sitting as data and like, okay, well, I want this and I haven't got this right now. Like, what's the gap? She can help me fill that gap. It was just that basic, really.
That's a really,
Um,
where you said be a scientist, like that's a really nice kind of identity to adopt when it comes to diagnosing the problems in your business, right? Like, I'm just going to be a scientist and I'm going to figure out like what is the gap and
yeah,
what is the problem. I'm going to find that one person that can fix that gap.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
um,
yeah. Being more
have
experiential and like experimenting as well, right? Because I did your free challenge and you totally run like challenges and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really know because I didn't show up with you straight away. But I just did it and I just gave it a go. And I'm like, I'm going to learn as I. So it's just experimenting. And actually, we sit there thinking and it's like, just actually go put something out and test it. Yeah.
good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have a question about because you're the queen of like, being magnetic and getting into alignment and all that jazz. So if someone is feeling, because I think as well there can be a lot of confusion between are you out of alignment or are you maybe just like in fear of
Mhm.
rejection, right? Like is the way you're building your business, could it be really well in alignment if it was working and you weren't scared or like that whole figuring
Yeah.
out that balance
Yeah.
and what's true to you and how you want to build your business and then
Yeah.
being able to step into that and be magnetic, what would you say are your top tips for that?
So yeah, I love that you sort of highlighted that because like I've been in the spiritual coaching type world for the last 6 years or so, and in there can be real people that like, oh, my intuition says not to do this, or like this isn't aligned to me, and it's just bullshit. It is just fear dressed up in like intuition. So we do have to call that in that we can just use excuses through that work. And yeah, sometimes we do just have to do the scary thing or like, be courageous and like it's not always going to feel good. Like doing manifestation, magnetic work doesn't mean that I'm like 24/7 sitting here on a meditation hill, just like, and I just like take action that's just like peaceful. Like that's not what it is. So I do like that you said that. I think the key I find to being magnetic, and how we actually are a really magnetic person and why business flourished for me or it didn't. One of the first things is I go back to like, what is your true nature and purpose? Like, you as a human, like, who are you? What do you love? And how can you like create your business? And this is what I said, it's something I love about you and how you do strategy is that a lot of other strategy people say, no, don't do that. That's not right. Do this. But if that's what that person is, it is right. Even if the strategy says not, right? Like, so I'll give you an example. When I first started my business, this girl told me, my first strategy coach said, you need to be a health coach. Like, you need to be a weight loss coach. Like, that's your niche, right? And I fought with her for months. Like, I don't want to be a weight loss coach. I cared about that when I was 20. I was 30. My husband and I just broke up and I was a single mum. Like, from having my son when I was 6 months pregnant, I had no money, like, no job. My body wasn't great. Like, I was like low in all these things. And I built resilience from just my own internal resources. And I wanted to be a resilience coach. Like, at 20, I cared about my body weight. I didn't care. And she's like, oh, but you don't have a husband, you don't have this, you don't have a so you gotta be a tangible thing, you gotta be a health weight loss coach. And I was like, I don't care about it. It's not who I am. Like I've done background in psychology and resilience. Like she's like, no one will buy resilience. Like no one will buy that, right? So for months I did what she said, and I barely made money. It was so hard. It wasn't me, and it wasn't aligned. I wasn't excited about it. I went, screw it. Like, I'm going to do resilience and I'm going to do insecurity and I'm going to, like, I made so much money, even though the niche was not meant to be the one that made money, because I was going against myself. Like, and even when I started getting more into business coaching, like, I was told I had to do strategy and coach that. but it wasn't who I am. Like I've had a background in psychology. Like, yes, I can give that. And for me, that's 5-10% of the shift. But my energy has to be online and my whole vibration, my excitement, like if that's not on, even challenges that I run, if I'm not fully in it, and I've said this to you, half of them will go really great and others won't. Because if I'm not really aligned and in it, that's who I am and how I have to be. It's a big part of me and my magnetism is me feeling being excited. That's not there, it won't work, you know? And so when I shifted into out of business coaching so much and more into identity and like energy and like my business flourished when I just because I that's who I am, you know, and even I love to be on stage and speak, or I love to speak more than just coach. And like, so I need to build my business out of who I am, what I love, not from what I've been told by someone, you know? And so I think for me, that's a primary reason why we're magnetic or not, you know?
Yeah.
I have more, but did you want to say anything about that?
No, no. I mean, yeah, I did. I was just thinking that it's such a common dance with business coaches and like trying to push people into a niche that they don't want to be in. And there's like, and again, it's like a balancing act because you need to find a marketing angle where you're credible and you can market to that
Yeah,
angle. But often people are like, I know a lot of people who have actually been pushed into business coaching because they're saying just copy me and do what I do. And it's like, but you
yeah,
don't even have any credibility as a business coach. You have no results as a business.
exactly. Yeah.
It's not
You
competitive.
feel like a fraud, you feel like a fake, like
Yeah,
you're not confident, you can't back it. You're then copying someone and you feel like you're way worse than them. Why would they choose you, not them? Like it's just, you know, and this was the other thing I was going to say of like um we when we come at things from like, and this is I guess a second component to it, like when we come from something from our what we love versus what we think we have to do or someone tells us to do, or like there's two parts in our identity. One, I call it the superconscious and the ego, or it could be like your genius and your unconscious, or your really powerful self and your like really wounded, weak self. Like whatever we're activating and coming at with anything we're doing, it will create a powerful result or not. And we could do exactly the same action, but how we're coming at it is different. I'll tell you, you know, for this event that I've got coming up, at the beginning, when I first decided I'm running my event and I wanted to do it, I started coming at it from my like ego or my unconscious, like, oh, I must get the numbers. And if I don't get the numbers, no, like I'm an idiot and I will look bad and everyone will think Miranda Marriott's a little brand and she's, you know, that's like and so I started like not wanting to post, being a bit scared, like it contracted me, right? When I went to like, why am I doing this? From like, why do I love to do this? What's my joy about it? What am I really excited? It's like, I just want to get in a room with these women and just have an amazing day. And I want to give them 10 years of this wisdom I've created, like in a day, and have see them light up and be transformed. And I don't want them to struggle. I want them to have ease, right? When I connected to that, I was like, fuck, like, and I was just like posting it like crazy, sharing it, like, you know, because I connected to my powerful self and approached it from that place, you know? So yeah,
100%.
they're two keys.
Like all the best results that we've got for clients are it's nothing to do with niche because we have people winning in all different niches. We've got manifestation, happiness, breath work, business, weight loss, but the people that are winning, they just love what they do and they're obsessed about what they do
Yeah,
versus trying to do something because they were told it was easier to make
yeah,
money. And like you said, you feel like a fraud, you feel fake, you're overthinking it, your energy's in the wrong place, it's not in serving, there's no passion
yeah,
behind it, you're not excited to turn up and do it. So I love that.
yeah.
Is this what you're teaching? You're doing a workshop? Who's in guys in the comments? Like if you're in Australia, just type Aussie in the chat box. So you're doing in-person event on a
Yeah.
Gold Coast, right?
Doing it, yeah, Gold Coast and Melbourne. Yeah, I'm doing
Coast of Melbourne.
yeah.
Is this what you're teaching? What are you teaching?
Yeah, so it's called the Magnetism Code. So basically, in this last 20 years in the coaching space, the last 10, I've spent $1 million now in my own development. And I was literally like obsessed with what's the key to success, what's the key to potential. And for 33 years of my life, I created a shit show of problems and nightmares in like relationship, in my breakup, in like, you know, money, business, work. Didn't matter what it was. Like it was just, you know, all stuck, all hard nightmares, you know? And then I learned this super conscious work and this magnetism code in this 1 month. I was literally in $20,000 of debt, about to lose the house I was in. I was about to become a homeless single mum, even though that was the biggest fear I never wanted to create. I was like 3 weeks away from creating it. And then I learned this work that month. And then I had a $20,000 month and I never went back ever again, even though my whole life I struggled with money. And so I'm going to teach people this, what I uncovered in that month. In the last 6 years, I've been perfecting and mastering, like, how do we become magnetic and draw in what we desire and we want, whether it is with business and clients. Like, I just had two clients join me this week, not from anything I've done. They just messaged and like, I want to pay up in full, like just wanted to come. Like, it's like I didn't even, I, they didn't come to anything. Like they just knew they were meant to work with me. Like, how do we create that, right? When I had 20 sales calls, everyone said no before I got into the 20K debt. Like, how do I go from repelling my business and clients and to being magnetic and not even doing? I mean, one of them was a podcast I did 2 years ago, and then she just listened and came in straight to my program. How do I get from that, hustling my ass off, 20 people saying no, no money, like to then sitting here doing, nothing, being at a spa and someone signs up to buy? How do I get magnetic? That's what I'm going to teach. And it's for women in business, but it is the same principle I apply to drawing in love, to drawing in health, like having a life with a lot more ease and flow and miracles and magic.
I like it. I like it. When is it?
3rd of May in Gold Coast and the 16th of May in Melbourne. So coming
I
up.
wonder if maybe I can even
And
go to
you're,
one of
you're
those.
around.
Maybe I have to check my calendar. Comment what? I was gonna say super conscious is such a long word to comment. Comment,
Magnetism
but
or
comment
magnetism.
super conscious, but magnetism is shorter. Comment magnetism, magnetic event, Gold Coast, anything that would make us know that if you're interested in going to the event, who knows? I might be there. So Gold Coast is on did you say the third?
3rd
The
of
second,
May.
3rd of
3rd of
May.
May.
That's Sunday, right?
Yeah. Sunday. Gold Coast is a Sunday and then 16th of May is a Saturday. Yeah.
Amazing, happy days. Any other tips that you want to give someone if they're trying to scale their business? You know, you've done amazing. Over 400,000 in less than 12 months is a level that a lot of people won't get to in their coaching business, right? So,
Mm.
any final tips if someone is just really struggling and they're like, they're wanting to make it happen, but it just hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I find is like a super game changer, powerful little quick tool that people can use that really pivots energy and like gets them out of that ego, unconscious, powerless self to powerful is, and I did this for my event the other week. Firstly, like just step into the truth and you have a bit of a bitch, a moan, a complain, a whinge, whatever, like, but I call it the circle of truth. And I just step in and I just go, the truth is, and I'm worried about this and I'm fearful of this and I think this is going to happen and the pressure about this and what if no one buys this? And like you just blurt out a whole lot of crap that you're like holding in that you're worried about, right? And you just let your victim, the powerless part of you, just have a cry and a whinge. Because a lot of the time that stuff's happening silently, but we're just continually thinking about it all the time and we're not letting it just come out and purge, right? So often what I will do, and I've done this for like my Fiji retreat as well. I was like 6 weeks into launching my Fiji retreat, and I'd done all this stuff, and no one was buying. Like, and it was 6 weeks, and I'd spent 20 grand onto this retreat. I'm like, I don't want to lose this money. Like, so I did a little truth circle. I just did a couple minutes, like, and I was just like, I'm worried about losing the money. I'm thinking no one's going to sign up. Like, I'm actually, and I try and get to the core fear. And I'm like, well, I'm actually trying to get a refund or like cancel this because I haven't even decided to be in it. Like, I'm worried I'm not going to. So I just did 2 minutes circle of that or just whatever pops up, right? And what's the core fear here? Like, what's this really about? So you do that. And then I just did a couple minutes of like, well, what's the powerful version of me think? Or like, what's the vision? What am I actually excited about? Why do I want to do this? Like I said, for the event or retreat for Fiji. Like, what is it that I'm really wanting to do it for? What's the core excitement? So the core fear, core excitement. And then you just go, okay, well, if I'm in this energy and this has already happened, it's done. Like in the future, I'm there and it's already there. Like I imagine that. Like, what's the next step right now that I need to do to like what's obvious to like it could be an energetic thing, it could be an action. But honestly, when I did that for my Fiji retreat, I did a 5 minute version of that in 3 days, like I cleared a fear and I cleared a block and it opens my energy. In 3 days, the whole retreat was full. And I did it recently for my event because I was getting like stuck in the pressure of this and it just opens my energy. And now I'm like, yeah, I'm going to advertise it. I'm going to reach out to people. I'm going to talk about it. Like it just opens your power back up again. So
I
that's
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I
Uh,
call it alchemy anchoring, but it's one of my most basic but so powerful, like to shift energy.
I got this image in my head because it's like a purge of like the crap, right? Which is so good. You
Yeah.
get it out of your system and then just choose to move on. And I think
Yeah.
people, at least I feel like I notice this with myself anyway. There's only a small period of time that I'll allow myself to stay in an unresourceful state. So I kind of will accept the fear, accept the situation, accept the reality, process the emotions, and then move on. And so it's almost like this
Mm,
process, right? To like get those emotions out of you, actually just
yeah.
whatever. And it made me think about, and I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen Rick and Morty? It's very
No.
random. No, okay, it's a cartoon. Don't worry if you've ever seen it. But anyway, they have on the cartoon. There's there's a purge day, and they go to this country. It's a purge country, and basically for one day everyone purges, but they're like killing each other and stuff. So they get all their bad fears and
Yeah.
impulses out of them in a day, and they all just kill each other in a day. Anyway,
That's so funny.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and
Well,
then
that's it's sort of what it's like though, right? Like, and I run trainings and we do a day in their power and they're super conscious and they're flying high and they're like, woo. And then we do this day in their unconscious. They're like depressed as all hell. And like, but it's like there's two people in us and it's just which one's getting the power, which one's getting our focus. Like, and we don't want to bypass stuff and high vibe and like actually manifestation when you go deep in it, it's not about high vibes. Like if it's fake high vibe, it's not high vibe. Like if all of this is underlying and you're actually feeling this underneath, it's not affecting it, right? So you need to let it out so it's not there quietly and silently. And then you've
yeah,
got energy to put into what you want, So, yeah, it's a purge. And then you go back into, well, let's get back in our power, Because I've got this little rods, and I mean, I could maybe try and get them. They're just over there. But with your emotion, whichever you're feeling, if you're feeling really shitty and you're like angry or you're sad or you're like super in guilt and shame, like it will move and close. And then as you feel powerful and amazing and like enjoy or whatever, it opens. Do you want me to show you? Or have we got time or not?
yeah,
One
we're
sec.
speedy.
One sec. Speedy.
In the meantime, guys, I don't know if you have questions, drop your questions in your chat box, in the chat box, or oh, that was super speedy. Never mind. I mean,
Speedy. These are these.
you can
This is
still drop your
speedy.
question. But
So this is woo for you, Sarah. Just
I
watch
just
this.
saw that and was like, oh, she's got extra long nipples.
They look goldish, so they're coming out.
I
Okay,
was like,
so
she's so woo. She's so woo. She's got gold sparkly nipples.
no, I don't. These are not golds. So, all right, I'm gonna go into the shitty. Like, okay, I really hate when coaches just steal money from people and do screw over people and like just take money and run. Like, I actually get so annoyed by these fake marketers, right? So I'm not moving anything, right? This is just moving from me going into anger or whatever, right? But I just had the best time with my clients. I went on to my retreat and I had such an amazing experience with them. Fucking love them so much. Like the connection I have with them, I just adore. And it's such beautiful space in Melbourne and it's amazing sky. It just moved, right? So this is our energy and this is always a vibration and a frequency. When we're in shitty or like we're shame or we're just closed. And so when I'm sitting there doing 20 sales call and I'm feeling shit and I'm not good enough and my shop of my business is shut. Like, no, I'm repelling. Like, it's contracted. I'm closed. Even though I'm doing all this stuff, nothing's working. I've put $20,000 into my ads before, like this, and
Right?
it's nothing happens, right? But if I open and I get in my connection, my energy, and I'm excited and I'm back in love or service, like I'm open, that's why I can sit there in a spa and I get clients coming because I'm just magnetic.
Like you need to take like 50 of those to your event though and do it with everyone. Because
Well,
you're gonna get people like me who are looking at it like,
is that
what kind of
real?
what kind of magic trick is this? Right? I need to see it happening
You
for
got to
like
do it. You got
myself.
to.
I need
Well, if
yeah, I need
anyone wants to
to do
do it at home, you can grab a coat hanger and straighten it
it.
out and
Oh,
just hold, like you got to put a straw at the end so you're not touching the metal. But yeah, you just straighten out a coat hanger and you can, yeah.
oh, you can do it with a coat hanger. That's kind of cool, guys. I think you should make that part of your challenge. So, like,
Yeah.
tell everyone as like
You grab
pre-work
the
for the
coat
challenge,
hanger.
get a coat hanger, stretch it out, have a
Yeah.
straw, and then do
Yeah.
the exercise on the challenge. I think it'll be really
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
convince the non-believers, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that'll be. super cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I know you've got your event. If anyone wants to go to the event, comment magnetic. But do you have anything else just for anyone in general if they're not in Oz or they can't come to the
Yeah,
event?
yeah. I will be comment magnetic anyway, even if you're not, because I am going to run an online version of it the week after Melbourne and things too. I haven't got the date locked yet, but it will. So if people want that info, I can get them that as well. That will
I love
be.
that. So just comment magnetic for anything, and
Yeah,
Miranda will reach out to you. Go get your coat hangers, guys. I'm gonna
yeah,
get
yeah.
my coat hangers. This was so good. Thank you so much for doing this. It was amazing to have
Thank
you.
you.
Any
Thanks for having me.
any final takeaways, tips, lessons?
I think the only last thing I'll say is that, you have one person to be with your whole life, which is yourself. My son, I love him to bits, but I'm not with him my whole life. Like I've had 30 years by myself before he came and and I'm here as a soul to look after myself. And if I actually love on me as much as I love on my son or anyone I care about, if I give the same level of relationship and treatment, I have to thrive and my business thrives. Because even if I fuck something up, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like if my son stuffs up a soccer game or that doesn't matter. Like I still love him. I love him just for anything, it's not conditional. And I think for me, what's really made my life flourish, my business flourish, is when I've been unconditional to myself and I've got my back no matter what. So even if something mucks up or it's okay. And I take more risks then. If I'm really hard on myself and critical and I've got a really shitty relationship with myself, any mistake I make, it's bad. And then I won't make more actions because I'm so scared that I'm going to stuff it up and it's going to be all is over. It's like, for me, like our connection to ourselves is so vital for our business to flourish, for money to flourish. So yeah, that's what would be the last thing I'd say is just like start talking to yourself and checking in and actually having a beautiful connection to yourself, like your partner or your kid or whoever you care about. Treat yourself that same way.
I
That's what
love
I'd
it.
say.
I love it. Comment magnetic, guys. Peace and love. Have a great week.